Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode of Conquer AI Search with AI. I'm Avi, and alongside me is Catherine. We're back to dive even deeper into the world of AI-driven search, breaking down how platforms like ChatGPT, Google AI, and Perplexity AI are reshaping digital visibility. At AI Monitor, we help brands transition to generative engine optimization from simple SEO, ensuring their content is not just indexed, but actively surfaced in AI-generated results. So whether you're a marketer, content creator, or just curious about where the future of search is headed, stay tuned. This conversation is about to level up your approach to AI-driven search.
So you've brought us some really interesting sources today, all focused on adapting SEO strategy for this age of AI.
That's right.
And our mission really is laser-focused, figuring out how to ensure online visibility doesn't just, disappear as AI gets more involved in how people find information.
Exactly. It's about staying seen.
Yeah, how do you stay seen in this sort of AI-first world that seems to be emerging?
Well, and it's important to stress AI isn't replacing traditional search, not completely, not yet anyway.
Right, not yet.
But its influence is definitely growing, and that's undeniable. And honestly, that's where the opportunity lies for listeners. If you get a handle on these changes now, you're really positioning yourself well, getting a real advantage.
And one key idea that came up in the material is how SEO itself is evolving. It's not just about those traditional rankings anymore, is it?
No, not solely. We're starting to talk about what Ryan Fortin over at Lenovo calls generative engine optimization, GEO.
GEO, okay, I like that.
Yeah. So being relevant in these AI-generated answers, these experiences, is becoming just as vital as, chasing those classic blue links.
Makes sense. Okay, so let's dive in. Where should we start? Maybe with keywords. That seems fundamental.
Absolutely. Keywords are a great place to start because the shift in how people search and how AI interprets that, it really demands a new approach.
How so?
Well, we can't just focus only on those big, high-volume head terms anymore. The real power, it seems, is moving towards understanding and targeting more specific, conversational, long-tail keywords.
Right, so instead of just best smartphone, people are asking, like, what's the best smartphone under $500 with a great camera for travel? That kind of thing.
Exactly, that kind of thing. And our sources really emphasize that AI models are, they're tuned into these more intent-driven natural language queries. It mirrors how we're all starting to search more, isn't it?
It really does. Feels more natural.
And the upside for content creators and businesses is that these long-tail keywords, they usually have much less competition.
That's a plus.
Definitely. Plus, think about this stat from Google. 15% of all searches are brand new, things never searched before.
Wow, 15%. That's huge.
It really highlights the need for fresh, niche content that's optimized for these emerging, very specific questions people have.
Okay, so based on this shift, what are some concrete actions people listening can actually take?
Well, the first piece of advice is basically to go low.
Go low.
Meaning, don't automatically filter out keywords just because they have low search volume. Resist that temptation.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because those little streams add up.
Precisely. These seemingly small streams of very specific queries can actually combine to bring in significant, highly targeted traffic. It's about collecting those specific needs.
Right, rather than just appealing broadly to a big, maybe less defined audience.
Exactly. And finding these conversational queries, look at places like Google's People Also Ask section.
Oh yeah, I use that all the time.
Tools like Answer the Public, even forums like Reddit, they're basically treasure troves for understanding the exact questions people are asking about your topics.
And it's not just finding the exact phrase, is it? It's about the meaning behind it, too. Semantic search.
You got it. You need to optimize your content by naturally weaving in related phrases, synonyms, different ways someone might ask the same thing. Think semantically.
So cover the topic comprehensively.
Right. And a really effective tactic mentioned in the sources is including detailed FAQ sections within your content.
FAQs, okay.
Yeah, like the 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐝 example. They reportedly achieved over 550 AI overview rankings, partly by doing this. You're directly answering those specific long-tail questions in a structured way, feeding the AI exactly what it's looking for.
That's a great example. Okay, so we adapt our keyword focus. Now, what about the content itself? The structure, the writing, how does that need to change for AI?
This is the next really critical piece. AI models, they're designed to pull out concise, structured information.
Right.
So if you want your stuff showing up in AI results, and honestly, just to improve the experience for human readers who want quick answers, clarity and organization are absolutely paramount.
So practically speaking, how do we make our content more, let's say, AI friendly?
Okay, a few key things. First, put your key takeaways right at the top, like an executive summary.
Good idea. Get straight to the point.
Exactly, for readers and algorithms. Then, within your main sections, write clear, concise summaries for each part. Use proper heading structures, H1, H2, H3, to show the hierarchy.
Standard good practice, but maybe even more important now.
Definitely. And for longer articles or pages, a good table of contents with jump links, invaluable. Helps skimmability, helps users, and helps AI figure out the structure.
And this isn't just for new content, right? We can apply this to existing stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Refreshing existing content with this AI visibility lens can be super efficient.
Makes sense. Use what you've already got.
You can even use AI tools themselves to help identify takeaways or improve the structure. The sources mention an agency seeing client content cited in AI overviews sometimes within 24 hours.
24 hours. Wow.
Just from reformatting based on these principles. So potentially a very quick win.
That's incredibly fast. Okay, now something else that stood out was this idea of presenting balanced perspectives. Why is that so important for AI?
Well, think about how these AI models are trained. They digest massive data sets and are generally designed to present information objectively without bias, especially for recommendations or comparisons.
Okay, yeah.
You've probably seen it if you use ChatGPT or similar tools. They often summarize pros and cons, right?
Yeah, they do tend to do that.
So content that already offers a balanced view is naturally more aligned with how AI operates. It makes it more likely to be referenced.
So less of the hard sell, this is the absolute best, and more nuanced.
Exactly. Clearly lay out the pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses, advantages, disadvantages. Use summary tables if you're comparing things. Great for users, great for AI extraction.
And the language we use?
Shift away from absolutes. Instead of the best, try best for this specific situation, or more ideal when. Use comparative language.
Got it. More conditional.
And maybe include sections like things to consider or who is this not right for? Show you've thought about the different angles.
That makes a lot of sense. Aligning with how AI processes information. Okay, so we've hit keywords, content structure, balanced views. What about the technical side? Does tech SEO still matter as much?
Oh, absolutely. Maybe even more in some ways. While AI crawlers might operate a bit differently than, say, Googlebot in real time,
Right.
they still heavily rely on a well-structured, semantically rich site to understand your information accurately. Kai Bloom at MailChimp was quoted saying, "Now's a great time to really shore up those technical SEO foundations."
Like what specifically? What technical bits are key now?
Things like crawlability, page speed, and especially schema markup are still critical.
Okay, let's break those down. Schema markup first. Why is that so vital for AI?
Think of schema as adding labels, giving explicit signals to AI about what your content means. What is this piece of text? Is it a product name, a review rating, an event date?
So it removes ambiguity.
Precisely. Makes it much easier for AI to grab the right info accurately. So you should be implementing relevant schema types: article, FAQ, how-to, product, review, event, speakable, breadcrumb, local business, all that good stuff.
Lots of options there.
Yeah, automate it where you can, use plugins or generators, and make it part of your standard content process. Don't treat it as an afterthought.
Good advice. Okay, beyond schema, what else on the technical front?
Basic crawlability and indexation. If the AI crawlers can't easily access and understand your content, well, it's not going to end up in their knowledge base or responses.
Simple as that.
Pretty much. So logical site architecture, strong internal linking, minimizing redirects, keeping your robots.txt file clean, and fast page load speed, all still hugely important.
And anything specific about how AI crawlers handle website code?
Yes, actually. JavaScript is a big one. Many AI crawlers, like OpenAI's GPT-bot and Anthropic's Claude-bot, currently don't execute JavaScript.
Oh, okay. That's crucial.
It is. So make sure your important content is server-rendered or visible in the raw HTML. Don't rely only on client-side JavaScript to display critical information.
Definitely something to check. These all seem like solid SEO fundamentals, just with maybe a renewed urgency for AI.
Exactly. Now, another angle the sources brought up was being data-driven. How does that help with AI visibility?
Right, using data in your content.
Yeah. AI models prioritize authoritative, credible information. So if you back up your claims with data, your content naturally seems more trustworthy.
And therefore, more likely to be cited by AI.
That's the idea. Plus, think about it. Distinguishing human from AI content is getting harder. Unique, proprietary data gives you a real competitive edge, something AI can't just generate.
That's a very strong point, being original.
Exactly. Brittany Muller, the AI educator, was quoted emphasizing authentic voices and being genuinely quotable.
Genuinely quotable. I like that.
In a world of potentially generic AI content, that's your differentiator. So use your own data where possible, surveys, case studies, internal research. Create unique data sets.
And if you're using external data,
Cite. Use credible, authoritative, up-to-date sources. Link directly to the original data. Mention the source in your text. Be transparent.
and be careful of using AI to help write.
Absolutely. Always run plagiarism checks if AI assisted with content creation. Maintain that credibility.
Building that foundation of trust seems absolutely vital.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say we're doing all this optimizing keyword structure, tech SEO, using data. How do we know if it's actually working? How do we measure the impact on AI visibility?
Great question. You absolutely need to track the impact, especially if you need to make a business case for resources, right?
Of course, need that ROI.
Chris Andrew from Scrunch AI mentioned they're seeing traffic from AI search platforms growing significantly, and interestingly, it often has very high conversion rates.
Oh, really? High conversion rates.
Yeah, so tracking these signals early gives you an advantage.
So what should we be tracking
What do we-
specifically? What metrics?
You'll want to set up a dashboard or add to your existing SEO one. Track things like referral traffic from specific AI platforms, ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc. See which ones send traffic.
Okay.
Look at the ratio of your traditional organic traffic versus this AI referral traffic. And crucially, track the conversion rates from that AI traffic. Does it actually lead to business goals?
Right, the bottom line.
You can also use tools you might already have, like SEMrush, to track your presence in Google's AI overviews. See how you stack up against competitors there.
And are there specific tools just for this?
There are emerging tools, yeah. Dedicated AI visibility trackers like Scrunch AI, or SEMrush has an AI toolkit now too. They aim to give a broader view across different AI platforms.
Might be worth checking out.
Definitely recommend demoing a few, seeing what fits your needs and budget.
Makes sense.
I have some exciting news to share. We've recently launched two powerful tools, AI Bot Monitor and AI Traffic Monitor, designed to take monitoring to the next level. These tools help you track AI-generated interactions more effectively, apply optimization tactics seamlessly, and gain highly accurate, data-driven insights into your website's performance. I can't stress enough how game-changing they are when it comes to visualizing your data in a clear, actionable way. So if you're serious about staying ahead in the AI-driven SEO landscape, check them out and book a demo. You'll see firsthand how these tools can elevate your strategy.
Apply that same data discipline we use for traditional SEO to this new AI channel. Okay, before we wrap up, the sources also touched on a couple of more advanced tactics.
Yeah, just briefly, for those looking to really push things further.
Or were they?
One was really leveraging digital PR for authority building.
Digital PR. How does that connect to AI?
Well, AI considers online mentions, brand buzz, overall authority. That same quote from Brittany Muller mentioned, brand mentions are kind of becoming the new backlinks.
Interesting parallel.
Yeah. Being part of relevant conversations online, getting cited by others, it boosts your authority in the eyes of AI, making you more likely to be referenced.
So it's not just your own site, but
Yeah.
your wider reputation.
Exactly, your digital footprint. And the other advanced tactic was setting up and optimizing a Wikipedia page.
Wikipedia? Really?
Yeah, it sounds a bit old school maybe, but Wikipedia is a massive source for training AI models. They use it for fact-checking, assessing credibility.
Okay, that makes sense.
So a well-sourced, neutral Wikipedia page can seriously enhance your brand's perceived authority and increase the chances of AI referencing you.
But I imagine getting and keeping a Wikipedia page isn't easy.
Oh, definitely not. It's a big undertaking. Strict rules on notability, reliable third-party sources, neutral tone. It's not something you just throw up. It needs real-world coverage and ongoing effort.
So a long-term play, but potentially powerful for establishing that AI-recognized authority.
Precisely.
Okay, so as we bring all this together then, what's the main takeaway, the core message for listeners from this deep dive?
I think the central message has to be that, well, proactively adapting to this era of AI-driven search it isn't really optional anymore. It's becoming essential for future online visibility.
Right. It's a necessity now.
Mhm.
And by taking these steps we've discussed, refining keyword focus to long tail, structuring content clearly, presenting balanced views, shoring up tech SEO, being data-driven, measuring results.
Yeah, all of that.
By doing that now, you're not just sort of treading water, you're actively positioning yourself for success as AI keeps evolving and changing how people find stuff online.
Absolutely. You're setting yourself up to actually thrive in this shift, not just survive it.
Okay, so on that note, maybe a final thought for our listeners to chew on. In this environment where AI is increasingly the filter or the starting point for information,
Yeah.
consider how your brand's overall reputation and the conversations happening about you online are becoming just as critical, maybe even more critical, than just optimizing the text on your website pages.
That's a really interesting point beyond just the site itself.
Yeah. So the question to ponder is, what unique stories, what unique data can you amplify to really establish your brand as a trusted, authoritative voice that both AI algorithms and human users will rely on?
Yeah.
It's about building that lasting digital authority in this really interesting new landscape.
That wraps up this episode. If you found this helpful, be sure to follow, share, or leave us a review. It really helps us reach more people navigating this new digital terrain. And remember, this AI-first future, it's not about getting replaced, it's about getting ready. The steps we talked about, long-tail keywords, structured content, real authority, those are your roadmap. It's about staying trusted, and that means thinking bigger than just rankings. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time with another episode of Conquer AI Search with AI.